this room is pretty big and you guys are spread out. My name is Isabel Maldonado and I'm your facilitator today. Sorry, I'm talking a little loud just so the gentleman in the back can hear me.
That's Alex.
Alex can hear me, thanks. Our session facilitator today is a 25-year marketing executive and currently an internal talk show host for Cisco Systems in Santa Clara. Very nice. He is also an 8-year Toastmaster with Tracy Club and currently the social media chair for District 39. He is a speaker, coach, and author with a life mission to inspire and entertain. He enjoys running, cycling, and spending way too much time in Facebook. In this session, he will share proven ways to help prospective members find your Toastmasters Club and nurture them until they join. When the session is done, please give him high marks with the evaluation form that I passed out because he has borderline self-esteem issues. Please join me in welcoming David Goad.
Thank you, Isabel, and welcome to this session. I am assuming that all of you care about the growth of your Toastmaster Club. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, now some of you are already taking notes. That means you are what I call a CNT, or compulsive note taker. And that is okay. You can take notes today. I am not going to pass out a handout to fill in, or any blanks to fill in. But I want you to know, I want you to feel comfortable to know that all the content I'm going to cover today is on this page. Ooh, look, even two-sided to save a little paper for the environment, right? So I have put everything on here to give you at the end of the session.
So we don't have to take notes.
You may take notes if you want to, sir. I know some of you, it helps you in the way you remember things. Please take notes. I'm just saying, don't feel like you have to write everything down because that will make it a little less conversational. I'd rather have a talk with you all today as I'm sharing some of the things that I know. With that, I will begin with a question. And I would like each of you to stand up, state your name, and tell me, where did you first hear about Toastmasters?
Becky Reeder, and I first heard of Toastmasters on a resume I was looking at for our company, and it intrigued me how much money this person made with no formal education. So it inspired me.
Interesting. Great. Rick?
I was invited to a meeting, so I came in, and that's where I heard about it.
Invited by who?
The late Sid Reeves.
Sid Reeves. Okay, so another Toastmaster. Is a friend of yours?
Yeah. And he invited me to come down, and all we do is spend the morning talking, and that's how I met.
Awesome.
There, right?
Okay, and next.
I'm Heidi Little with Speaking Machine in Elk Grove, and I've heard about it through my aunt. She was in Toastmasters.
And why did she share it with you?
She just talked about it because she was like really up in it, and she just thought it would be a good way of helping me with my dyslexia, you know, just
awesome.
being more understood kind of thing.
So we have coworker, friend, family. You, sir. What is your name?
Mi nombre es Miguel Montoya. I'm Michael Maryland from the Speaking Machine in Elk Grove, and I heard about Toastmasters while I was working at DMV. I tried to join up for a bit there, and it had some complications. Then I wound up letting that disperse for a while, living life, and then another member or person introduced me to Toastmasters down in, Middle Sacramento. I went there, and I had an emergency issue with family, and so my first time was very much disrupted.
So it just came up in conversation? Like,
Correct.
why did they share it with you?
I think it was because he and I were working on real estate together, and he says, "Oh yeah, I do Toastmasters." And I'm like, "Hey, I've been wanting to join that," and having some struggles trying to get in. And he said, "Well, come to ours." And I went, and then all of a sudden I got called up. My mom was in the hospital. I'm out of here. So that went as it was, and then I decided to just hurry up and get in. And so I found actually this Toastmasters group online. I was just looking for what was in my local area, and it turned out this was 5 minutes down the street from me.
And did you just go to Google and type in Toastmasters in the name of your city?
I don't recall how I searched for it on the internet. I just know it was on the internet, and then I wound up emailing one of the members, and bang, I'm in.
All right, bang, very nice. And you, sir?
Alex Solferis, Lodi Toastmasters. I heard about it from actually I work for a taxpayers group in Contra Costa County, and of course I was doing a lot of public speaking and never had Toastmasters. So he says, well, give me registered on the Google, one of Toastmasters, and then he met at the library, so he showed up and got in.
Awesome. Miss?
Jane Nielsen, Pop-Up Toastmasters in Natomas. I was invited by a couple of coworkers. They were trying to recruit members, and they saw how lonely I was. So they extended their invitation. Yes. So they extended the invitation, and I kind of hesitated for a while, even though, because I have done a lot of presentation, a lot of training, so I didn't think I really needed it. And then I went to one of their open houses, and I found out that it was just more than just presentation. It's a lot, it's fellowship. And so I came for the meeting, but I'm staying for the fellowship.
Awesome, thank you. And
I was told by one of my friends, we were together in Singapore, and then he moved to Australia and I moved to the US. And he told, I said, I don't know what you're doing. So he told me, it is just fun. He told me 2-3 years ago, but I was moving from place to place. So last year we moved to this mountain house, and then I said, it's just high time to join the Toastmasters. That's how I'm here.
And your name?
Just one thing.
just one second.
Only one.
You're in the Tracy Club, I
Yes.
believe. Okay. How did I know that? Ooh, I'm good. Yes.
Deborah Littleton, also Tracy Toastmasters, and I was invited 10 years ago by a pastor at my church, and I said, I can't get up earlier than 7 in the morning. So I followed my invitation from Mr. David Goad here, because he said, you can teach everybody about projection, because I do theater. And I stayed for the fellowship.
You're actually invited as a guest speaker.
Yes.
Because of an expertise that you had.
Yes.
And you decided to stay because you wanted to build on it. Very good. Yes.
I found out about Toastmasters when I was in high school. I was in a group called Key Club, which is sponsored by the Kiwanis. And our Kiwana sponsor was a member of Toastmasters. And so as he was leading us teenagers, he talked about all the different civic organizations available in our town, and Toastmasters was one of them. And then I just let that information simmer until I had high school students. And then we looked at Toastmasters as a way to try to find a public speaking option for them, because they both enjoy public speaking. And my son is now a member of Toastmasters, and my daughter's in the youth program.
And your name?
Mary Chase with Manteca Clubs.
And Mary Chase, you can high five, be the only person who turned and faced the rest of the audience when you gave your answer. Everyone looked at me. Isabel,
Hi, I'm Isabel Maldonado. I forgot what the question was.
where did you hear about Toastmasters the first time you heard about it?
I heard, okay, so I work for, I'm a state of California employee. I heard about Toastmasters through our department, and it was ran by Kevin Goddard through Mather Toastmasters. And so I joined one that was local at the time, and that was on Riverwalk, which is close to the river, hey. As soon as I went to that, I mean, I signed up the first class I went to, and I've been a member since February. Pretty new.
Fantastic. All right. Very interesting. I saw a lot of different sources of where you heard about it, from friends, coworkers, maybe your boss said, I think you need this if you want to improve in your career. You just read it on someone's resume. That's interesting. People are just putting it around in places where you know, hey, what is that? Google search, very common, and at church and other clubs. So it's kind of interesting, something that I found in the Tracy Club, the #1 way people find us is this online search. They will put in Toastmasters because they heard about it from one of these things, and they'll put in the name of their tent. So what do they want to know? The basic information is there a club, what time does it meet, and where? That is the basics of any very effective marketing program. You have an accurate website with those 3 things on it. And I'm surprised to actually look and see where there are clubs that have websites with really funky names, like the Speaking Machine and Bits and Speeches and River Rappers, that don't necessarily have the word Toastmasters in the name or the name of the city. So something to think about on the website that you have for your club right now. Go back and just audit that website and say, do we have the city and the time very prominently placed in there? And if you know how Google search works, that text that you put on that website, repeat it over and over again. You know, meets in Tracy leaders, just Tracy. Put that in there and it'll help it come to the top when people are looking for it. There are 2 clubs in Tracy, right? We have the Tracy Leader Club and the one that meets in the morning on Fridays, the Tracy Toastmasters. So the Tracy Leadership Club also has the word Tracy in it. It says leadership. Does it say Toastmasters? And I can look and make sure that keyword is in there. Just something to think about when you're trying to put the word out to the world and help people find you. That's really what the objective of this session is. I'm going to share with you proven things that help match what you have to members in the community. I'm trying to find a match between what you have and people that are geographically within an area that will find you. And that geographic part is very important. All right, so not only did I find out where did you hear about it, some of you did a little research and Googled it, and then why you picked your club. Did anybody here not pick that club based on the time? Was the time of day and the location pretty much the most important thing?
Right.
Okay, and then after you attended the meeting, what was your first experience like at the meeting? Anybody here have a wonderful experience you want to share? Your first Toastmasters meeting. Right?
I walked in. It's the Moose Lodge on Main Street in Antigua. A big bar in a little room. And I didn't know what it was. There was a group of people in kind of a booth-like setup. And they said, and the table topic subject today is someone famous in history. I had missed the Pledge of Allegiance. They had done no introduction, like, hey, welcome. They had gone right into the meeting, and they handed me a Toastmaster subject. And
So it was a confusing experience.
well, I won the contest.
Oh. So you were confused and scared, but then victorious and happy.
You give me a stupid topic like that, famous person in history, so I just gave him back. I went with Genghis Khan and for cleaning up his civil service.
Okay, you guys have a wonderful new first experience Toastmasters meeting. Yes, sir.
I had a great experience when I came to the speaking machine. When I initially started off at DMV, the experience there was sour for me. And that was because as I sat in the room, everybody seemed a little too serious. They stayed to themselves, and they were focused on trying to overdo the presentation. Like, they just could not display any forms of emotion, any vocal writing, things that I've been learning lately. And then when I joined this group, I saw everybody was very happy to be around each other, very excited, and there was a lot of energy in the room, and they were playful as well as they were serious and meaty. And that made me feel that I could be a part of the family unit here, and that's what turned me on.
Did you join right away after that experience?
I believe I joined in 2 weeks.
So you came to a couple of meetings to check it out?
Excuse me?
You came to a couple of meetings to check it out before you committed to...
No, I think it was the second meeting that I made the intent to join, and then I'm not sure what got in the way, but I believe it was the second or third week that I joined.
Heidi, did you?
Yeah, I actually, when I first came to Speaking Machine, I really enjoyed the energy level. I had been to other Toastmaster meetings before in different areas and districts and whatever. I didn't experience that energy level, the positive, the welcoming, the clapping. I mean, it was like you were on a cruise. It was like clapping and screaming and good times. It's like I wanted to be a part of it. I knew by the second time I went, like Michael, that I wanted to join.
So when you think of marketing and PR as something that gets visitors to come to your club, that's really the goal of the VP of PR, right? Let's get visitors to show up, and then it's the VP of Membership's job to convert them, right? Is that kind of the way you think about it? Like that's a handoff of the baton. I got them here. Now you take them and you make them members, right? Or in PR and marketing, do you still own that member until they sign and pay their check and really commit? Yeah, that's a philosophical question. It depends on the club. You know, the Tracy Club, we consider all of us part of the PR committee. And the PR doesn't end until they do sign up. So when they come to that first meeting, some people will sign on the dotted line after that first meeting. This was such a great experience. It's what I've been looking for. My boss told me I have to do it. And then the other people, they sit in the back of the room, like our friend back here. Yeah, back in the room. Totally fine. He's going to come for 3 meetings. I'm just going to wait and see. I don't know about this. These people are a little weird. They clap a lot. It's a little, my boss told me I need to do this, but I'm just going to check it out. So he's what we call someone that needs to be nurtured. Nurtured. That's right, like a baby. Fed, stroked, hugged. Talk to them, make them feel like they're important. And that's something that marketing can do as well, even when they're not sitting in your meeting. Okay, so it's one of the things we're going to go over today is not just get them to show up, but keep marketing to them, keep nurturing them until they sign on the dotted line. So I'm just extending your definition there of marketing just a little bit. So why do we need to attract new members in the first place? Mary?
We need to attract new members because Toastmasters the organization has done the statistical studies, and there's an atrophy. We lose people. There's attrition. We lose people. We have to keep replacing, just like with trees. If you don't plant ones after you cut other ones down, we're going to have deforestation
So
going
many
on.
great words of the day coming from you. Atrophy, attrition. People leave, right? My kids change, the sports schedule changed, and I got to drop them off on Friday mornings. Or I'm moving to another town for a new job. Or, you know, I'm not really getting what I want out of this club. So you have the preventable causes and then the unpreventable ones. The ones where people move or whatever, you can't control that. But for the people that are on the fence in the club who may just not be getting enough attention or getting what they need, those are the ones that also need some special attention. So we have those two causes, natural causes and preventable, but the truth is that contributes to losing 40 to 50% of membership every year. So say you have a club of 20 members. Here comes the math part. Are you ready? The math people. 20 members, you lose 10 members each year. How many members do you need to re-sign to stay at 20?
10.
Oh my gosh, the math is getting hard. That's correct. So we go, and I'm going to treat this like a sales funnel. Anybody here in sales? Anybody work in sales?
Anti-sales.
Working on it. Okay. So in sales, you have this concept called a funnel, where you've got, these are the people that actually pay the money down here. But to get to a few people that pay the money, you have to talk to a lot of people up here. It creates this funnel. So let's say we need 10 members to replace the 10 that naturally leave every year. So how many visitors do you need to get 10 members?
A lot.
Depends on the ratio of how many people convert, right? So let's say 1 out of 3 visitors become a member, conservatively. So we'll go with, so I need 30 visitors. All right, so to get to 30 visitors per year, how many people do you need to invite? Because not everybody takes your invitation, right?
90.
90? Where are you from again, Deborah?
The planet Zorro.
I'm going to go conservatively with, let's say 4 people get invited, 1 of them shows up. So we'll do like a times 4. Let's we have to invite 120. This is invitation.
See.
To get to visitor, to get to member. Wow. I can invite 120 people per year to my club just to get 10 members? Does that sound right to you? Now, by the word invitation, I'm implying that someone's doing that one-on-one. I'm talking to my friend, my boss, or my colleague, like you said here. There's also just that general marketing that you can do that'll kind of like casting a wide net out in the ocean. Some fish are just going to come into the net, right? Maybe there is some out here in the ocean. You do some of this general marketing. Sometimes in corporate they call it air cover. That's your website, other kind of marketing campaigns I'll talk about in a second that will bring people in, but I'm thinking these are all one-on-one invitations for the most part, except for the guy who Googled. Somebody told him about it. Right? So I want you to think of word of mouth, and that personal invitation is the #1 way you can get people to show up to the meeting. Okay. Now, Lance Miller did a great session on this at the last leadership breakfast up in Sacramento. So I highly recommend his information. He has a book, a plan. He's got all the math you would ever want. So I gave you a really short version of this, but I want you to understand the concept. You have to do a lot of inviting to get to the members. Unless you're in some place where just so many people want Toastmasters and it just takes care of itself, It usually doesn't. All right, so I'm looking at this number, 120. So let's say we have 10 members who are still active, right? We had 10 leave, but the 10, why don't we just share the load? So how many, more math, Jane, you do math, right? So if I have 10 active members, and I need to do 120 invitations, how many invitations is that per member?
12.
Okay, so 12. And how many months are in the year? 12. Okay, that's pretty easy. So if each member invited one person per month, would we hit our goal? If the odds work out, right? If your points. Now that breaks it down to where everybody's on the PR committee and everybody helps. And at Tracy, we do open houses every month. So the first Friday of each month, we just call it an open house. Bring a guest speaker, pay for the food or the coffee, do something special. But the goal really is for each member to bring one person. That's all we want, is each person to bring one. It sounds doable, it sounds achievable. It's not, oh my God, I'm in charge of PR and I gotta go get all these people. Share the load. Put everyone on the committee. Make sense? All right, so I'm going to move on now to a couple of different kinds of marketing. Now, I'm not going to try to stick this on the wall because I learned from watching the previous session that you do this, and you do this, and then you do this, and in about 30 seconds it's going to fall down. So the other thing we do as Toastmasters is we become prepared, right? We ask our facilitator to take the pink tape, and she'll walk behind me, because she saw me floundering up here. And Isabel helps me. Yeah, nice. That's not that. See? See how she rescued her fellow Toastmaster and me.
Where's the backflip?
Pardon? The backflip? Oh yeah, we're supposed to be cheerleaders, right?
Oh, that's all you.
All right, so two kinds of marketing now we're going to talk about. There's this ongoing marketing, that wide net, in the ocean kind of stuff. And there's going to be monthly marketing campaigns. So let's start with the ongoing marketing. I am not going to give you everything you need to know today. These are the highlights, the things that I think are most critical. The most important things you can do to keep your club growing. Number one, the website. Websites have changed, haven't they? For the most part, until you get a Toastmasters website, what's on it? What do you have on your website, Mary? Have you looked at your website?
I have not looked at my website.
Okay. Anyone else?
Meeting schedules, meeting schedules.
Oh, you put the schedules there too. Okay. So you got the names of the officers, the location, maybe a picture of the place where it
If
is.
you want to request a speech or whatever.
All right. The website needs two things. It needs to be accurate. Up to date is another way to say that. If you have time-based kind of things. How many of you use easyspeak.org? Everybody. Wow. Okay. But that's not a public website, right? It's just a private tool for using. So your public website is the place people will find you. It's like the business card of your club. And I think the way the world's changed now is that people don't try to do as much interactivity in websites. They just go straight to social media, right? Facebook and other things to get conversations. So, this, as we said before, is the name of your city, and the time, and the place. Put those three things above the fold. You know what that means? It's, you don't have to scroll to see that, right? Boom, at the very top. City, time, place. Right? So that, the website, people will find that from organic, from searching. This is the way the world has changed. And I'm not going to say social media, I'm just going to call it Facebook because that's where most people are. There are others, LinkedIn and Twitter and YouTube, and all the kids are using Tumblr and Instagram. There's so many different places that you can do this. There's meetups. I'm just going to use Facebook as an example to communicate some of the concepts that I think are important. How many of you have a Facebook group for your club? Show of hands. And who's in charge of the group? And do people actively participate in it?
Not like they should.
What do you see in the, if I went to your group, what would it have?
He puts blurbs in there and some people like it, but to be honest, I haven't really seen it on my feed and I haven't gone to it. So we're not where we should be with that.
So you have one person whose job is to post stuff. Okay, anybody else have something different?
I'm new, so I'm learning.
Do you all belong to the Facebook group for your club? Anybody here not in Facebook? Go ahead and raise your hand.
No. Did you say not?
Yes, not. Okay.
It's not possible.
I've noticed our Facebook, I don't know if it's a group or just a page, but it feeds into some kind of a feed on our website, so that's a plus.
Okay, so Facebook, if you're using it on a regular basis, you can form a group and get notifications from it. So it kind of works like a website that is dynamically updated by everyone, and you can get notifications. And that's the key word, is dynamically updated by everyone. And as you said, one person's in charge. The spirit of social media is everybody's contributing.
Right.
Now, not everybody wants to or feels obligated to, but if you start creating value so the group is doing that, you'll see amazing things happen. So for example, in the Tracy Club, here's the kind of things, if you join our group, you will see, what do we post every week?
We post every week on what I was writing.
Pictures?
Yeah, who won the table topics?
Who won the table topic contest? How easy is that? We have a winner, stand up there, click, that person goes home, puts it on the group.
Branding against the flags.
That's right, we always stand with the Toastmasters logo behind us. Ah, that's right, that's marketing. What else? What else did you put in the Facebook group that people might
Contests.
comment on and talk about?
Put on contests, guest speakers.
Special events.
What was that?
Special events.
Special events, yes. So do you have people who are not members of your club that belong to your club's Facebook group? Do you know? These are all things to go look about. I'm just asking the questions, and you'll see that I've got on this handout I'll give you at the end. It's something to go back to your executive team and talk about. Because here's the thing. I think the Facebook group is the secret weapon. I think that's a place where you can not only post what's accurate, the time and all that, it's a place to do that nurturing that we talked about. The people who came to a meeting, first thing you should do is get their information, get them into the Facebook group, and then what do they see? Oh, look at all the happy, smiling people, having fun, doing wonderful things, learning, posting, helping each other. It's like this active, alive website that they get to experience, and it might make them convert to be a member. Had a question over here? Yes?
Is Facebook easier to manage than that meetup.com that people refer to?
Different kind of tool. Meetups is fantastic. We just had, Jasmine, did you come from a meetup?
Yeah.
I think yes, he saw it on meetups. So, both good, you know? In fact, the answer is not one or the other, it's do them all, right? Put it out, it takes a little bit of effort to get something set up, but a meetup is a great way to do it. If you haven't heard of this, it's something that started with people that, hey, who wants to go hiking on Saturday, right? But
Yeah.
now you can post in
A lot of our people have been coming when we ask them, how did you hear about us? It's been predominantly Meetup.
Yes, so same kind of thing. You post it, keep it up to date, add comments. So the Facebook club group is something you should take a look at right away. Here's how we're going to try to help you. So as the social media chair for District 39, I'm going to try to develop content to send out to you that you can post in your clubs. Right? So you don't have to invent all this and write it. We're going to get some of the best people to write copy and do photos and maybe even post some blog posts that are educational or news that you can use. So we're going to be disseminating that down out into the clubs. And what I'm going to ask for from each one of your clubs is for one person to be the social media ambassador. What does that mean? What's it sound like?
The person you would send everything to.
Yeah, the ringleader. Hey, yeah, I'm paying attention to it. Put it on your club. Here's something that came from district. I'll put it here. You're already getting an email newsletter. But when you put it in Facebook, it generates conversation. It generates a lot more interaction. People ask dumb questions in Facebook, and if it's really dumb, they'll send a private message. Great, right? Some people don't want to post it publicly because like, oh, well, I should know that. I mean, send a private message. Again, it's an interactive thing versus a website. It's a dynamic way to share information and learn about it. Pardon?
Twitter.
Twitter? Yes. Do you use Twitter?
I'm new coming into public relations, but I just found out the other night that we have Facebook and Twitter, so I'm going to be getting involved in that.
And Twitter's just another broadcast medium. It's not as much, for me, a lot of interaction as much as Facebook is. It's a little harder for a lot of people to grasp, but as you know, fantastic worldwide way to broadcast information.
And as younger people are coming up, they're leaving Facebook and going to other things like Twitter, and my kids have like 5 or 6 different accounts where they used to do everything Facebook. So I think that we have to be aware that social media does change.
Yeah, in fact, as soon as your grandmother is on Facebook, it's time to go to something else, right?
Yeah, because grandma like that Instagramma.
But why does grandmother get on Facebook?
To see her
So she can see
grandbabies.
them.
Yes, my mother is
Yeah.
always
And-
posting silly comments on my kids' pictures.
All right, fantastic. I'm going to move a little bit faster now to get through. Okay, so I'll be asking about social ambassadors. The District 39 group is another group I want you to join. So in addition to your club level group, there's one called District 39 Toastmasters. Just go on Facebook, search on it, click the join button. That's where I'm going to be publishing everything. I just picked a spot. I picked Facebook because most people are there. You'll hear about all these things, the ambassador program and the other campaigns will all be posted in Facebook. And what I want you to do is to criticize it, praise it, talk about it, ask questions about it. Isabel.
There's a few. Which one?
There should be one called District 39 Toastmasters that's a fan page, and that one is just like a website. So that's the public face for District 39. It's got a picture of the International Convention with all the flags across the top. You can join that one, but there's not going to be a lot there. It'll be a few postings of news. It's kind of like a website. Then there's one called District 39 Closed Group. Look at her, she's joining right now.
Got it.
And friend request me too. So we can all
Yeah, I
communicate.
sent already. I think it says a closed group, then it says you click it, and then up till now, nobody has responded to that.
Because he's here.
I'll do it right now. Okay. So when you're in that group, also go up to notifications and select that you want the highest level of notification. This is the thing where things don't show up in your feed. It just maybe it's your regular like acquaintance level or just the default. So hit notifications. You won't get overwhelmed, trust me. It'll be, a couple of things a week, but I'm going to ask for your feedback as we are. We're going to build this together. So shades all of that. All right, let's move on. So that's the ongoing marketing. The stuff is, again, it's a wide net. I'm not going to draw. Right, this is a net that has little floaty things, and the fish are all flying in it. Okay, let's talk about monthly marketing. And this is not throwing a net into the ocean, Rick. This is spear fishing. It's like, I know I want you to be a member, I'm going after you. Right? The spear fisher goes after one big fish, and I keep chasing it until you get it. So what is a campaign? Anybody?
A concerted effort for a program or a policy or something.
Okay, so it's a concerted effort that a bunch of people are involved in?
Yes.
What else? What else does a campaign need to be a campaign?
Campaign is with some objective.
An objective.
Yeah, some objective.
A deadline
We did
date.
that, yeah.
That's a time when it's happening,
Yes.
right? Okay. What else?
All I think about is war.
Me too.
Yeah, okay, a war campaign, a political campaign, what do they all have in common? There's some kind of a deadline, there's an election day.
A mission.
There's a mission, there's a program around it, there's things that people are supposed to do to
And
cooperate.
results.
Ah, measurable. Yes, someone's watching a report card to see how it's working. When we all watch the presidential campaign, we have news 24/7 saying, here's all the votes and the polls and the things. So there's this level of awareness of how are we doing and rallying around a deadline that makes things happen. If I told you today we're doing a campaign that'll last the next 12 months, you're going to roll your eyes at me just like that. What I say, between now and the end of August, we are all going to call at least 3 people that we know, tell them about Toastmasters, And then each of us is going to send an email 2 days later to those same 3 people. And then I'm going to report back to my club and tell them how I did. Is that a campaign? Yes!
Yeah?
Yeah. And we all are going to do it by the end of August. So what happens at the end of August? Deborah, the president of the club, stands up and says, well, here's how we did our campaign. You know, Rick brought in 2, she brought 1, right? So there's this level of this ongoing kind of marketing. I put it out there, get it in the paper, you know, float it out there. But campaigns are specific, time-driven, cooperative, and there's some kind of a program. So here are 3 different campaigns that I recommend. And we're going to be helping you with this at the district level. You'll see some information come out with email templates and photos and blog posts, lots of things that will help you do it. The first one's called Try It Out. Open house. Open house works. People know what it is, right? If you're in real estate, what does an open house mean? Come check it out! No obligation! I'm not going to hard sell you. I may even give you a free biscuit, you know, for walking in. Right? It's a low risk, easy trial kind of way to try something out. Because some people, I bet, don't want to come to Toastmasters because they think they're going to get sold. It's like going to an Amway meeting or something else. Oh, these people are kind of cultish, you know, they're always clapping and smiling. So if you say it's open house, no pressure, just come and check it out. Just by saying that is a magical thing. So we do 1 open house every month. We call it First Friday Open House. When does it happen?
The first Friday.
Wow! That's brilliant! So this is the thing in marketing. Call it what it is. Put the benefit in the title. Help people find it and come to it. So the First Friday Open House, because your meeting is your best marketing tool, right? If they have a good experience, you talked about some good experiences earlier, that's going to convert them, right? That's part of the marketing. So you got to make sure that if you're going to put out some breakfast treats or buy their coffee, whatever, make sure you take care of them when they get there. Invite a veteran member to be a guest speaker or a local celebrity. In Tracy, we had City Councilwoman Evelyn Tolbert come to speak. And that's about as